Good day, everyone. This is Dark Sage Walker, and we'll be playing a challenge in Binding of Isaac. So, I think I figured out what exactly the problem was with my system, so hopefully we won't be getting some of the same issues that I had last time. So, let's do the Demo Man challenge. This one is particularly easy. It's Dr. Fetus with the detonator. And yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know. This challenge is not hard, but it's got a good reward. So, as you can see, the idea is throw out a bomb, detonate it. Pretty much that's all there is to it. Oh yay, the D12. I always wanted to reroll rocks. So we might not necessarily be keeping the detonator for the entire run. If we do, however, then, oh well. It's one of those things that's not necessarily going to make or break the run, whether or not I decide to hold on to the detonator. It does make it a little bit easier to use Dr. Fetus, but Dr. Fetus is already such a strong item that, by all rights, I really don't need to worry about the detonator. Honestly, I don't even need to worry about picking up bombs. And there we go. So that actually kind of makes this more worthwhile. I did do a little bit of donation machine grinding off camera, so I do have the last level shop upgrade available now. So you'll start seeing 6 items in the shop in comparison to the 5 that it was before. This makes the shop that much easier to get things out of. You know, maybe I will just keep the detonator for the entire run. This kind of makes makes things so much easier to work with when I can just set off the bombs whenever I want. There we go. Also makes it easy to search for things. Blow up skulls to look for black rocks? Yeah, why not? You've got all the... Wait, black hearts. What the hell was I talking about? Black rocks. Yeah, I just made up my own classification of tile in the game, that's all. I mean, that would be more useful if there were, you know, if there were actual items. Damn. Well, if I happen to find a battery, then I'll go back for that. Otherwise, not a big deal. Not too worried about having mapping either. Oh, hello. Well, now I can just go back and buy the damn thing. Nice. See if I can get a different trinket. One that won't be detrimental to Dr. Fetus. Alright, we'll take that. This is a nice. This room doesn't really mean anything, aside from the idea that it's a pentagram made out of fire, but I mean, it doesn't affect gameplay or anything at all. It's just a neat looking room. That's something that I think a lot of developers neglect, is the idea that they can just make things because they're neat looking. Not everything needs to be filled with this sort of like inner purpose, or filled with turmoil, or a desire to be more perfect, or in the worst case scenarios, a desire to fit a political narrative. Yeah, we'll take the hairball. It gets us a little bit closer to Guppy in case we need it. No, not everything needs to be filled with this sort of social justice purpose, so to speak. Some things can just be fun. Ow. Let's be fair, there are plenty of things in the world that should speak to everyone on a very real human level without having to be dependent on something as situational as, you know, your gender or the circumstances of your birth. I know I said I wasn't going to be getting very political in these videos, but this is just something that's been on my mind for a little while. It's odd that so many people seem to only really be able to relate with someone's problems if they're, you know, if they share features with that person or character. Like, does somehow the human condition change depending on your gender? I mean, there are things that are different, don't get me wrong. Men and women aren't necessarily the same across all metrics. But that doesn't mean that we're entirely alien to one another either, and that's kind of the point I'm getting at, is that, you know, circumstances of our birth should not necessarily be determining what's most important about all of us. Second Guppy item. Wow, that was genius. Glad I did that. It's a point that seems to come up a lot in our everyday lives. Oh well. Guess I don't really need to carry your own wishbone anymore. Too bad. Daddy now has what's pretty much considered the best trinket in the game. I don't need you anymore, wishbone. Do I care about that? Yes, I do. To me, it seems very disingenuous to, pardon me, to suggest that one can only relate to another person's problems if they're the same gender or from the same part of the world. It's getting very dangerously close to some things that, honestly, I don't think anyone really wants. If that is the sort of aim you're going for in the world, then perhaps you don't understand what equality really means. Not to put a finer point on it, but there are things in this world. Well, that's Guppy, right there. This run just got even easier, and yeah, let's go ahead and grab the sacrificial dagger too. Guppy, with Dr. Fetus, with Sack Dagger, with Cuba Meats. Oof! This run barely even requires thoughts, so we're just gonna take this in whatever logical direction I can think of to take it in now. Yeah, why not? This, give me this, give me this, give me that. Of course, I just now noticed that being Guppy is not really helping anything, but it is allowing me to fly, so, you know, good enough. I know I can generate flies using the hairball, just not necessarily sure that it's that important. As long as I'm on the point of politicization and how it ties into everything, can I just ask, when did one's gender become a point of political contention? I mean, yeah, you can argue that maybe it always was, but I'm not sure I necessarily buy that. I've never been all that interested in deciding things based upon one's gender or one's skin color. I believe very strongly in this notion of the notion of equality, and that means that for all of our differences, we get the same opportunities as one another. That also means accepting the same responsibilities as one another. Alright, we're gonna give this a shot. Well, that doesn't really help. More money. Look at that. Oh, so beautiful. Thank you, humbling bundle. You made my day. Alright. Thought there might have been a secret room there. I was mistaken. Oh, I love being able to fly. Makes that room just a piece of piss. A potato peeler again? Okay, game, what are you trying to tell me? Owie! You son of a bitch. Get that out of here. I don't need your shit today. Anyways, apologies for getting political. And last thing I want is for this channel to start becoming overrun with gender politics. Trust me, there is nothing in this world that I care about less than basically bitching about someone's gender. But for the people who think that it is important, I think it's worth pointing out that it creates unnecessary divides between people that don't need to exist. Why do we need to be so interested in what gender someone is whenever anything happens? And the reason I put it like that is because it seems like there's this recent trend lately with basically vilifying men. I don't remember there being any reason why that. I don't recall any reason why that needs to be a thing. Furthermore, I don't think there's a reason to vilify women for anything either. Yeah, not happening. I will not be re-rolling this run. I like what I have. The fact of the matter is, saying that some things are only for one type of person or another, or this and that and the other thing, it doesn't make any sense. A lot of it just sucks. And a lot of this, to me, kind of came to the forefront with the whole Captain Marvel debacle, and how that created a huge rift between fans of the comics and people who wanted to see. Like, let's be fair, Hollywood doesn't need to see the change; it's already. Honestly, the movie industry already seemed equal, so why there's this push for... And again, I get that there are some people who are just bad eggs. But to say that there's this inequity in Hollywood that needs to be addressed, I'm not 100% sure that's the case. I'm not saying that the film industry is without issue, not by a long shot. There are plenty of things that need to be addressed and changes that need to be made. I just don't necessarily think that it's a gendered problem. Matter of fact, whenever... Whoops, why did I put down that bomb? Yeah, just got another soul heart. Whenever the topic gets brought up and people make such a big deal about things needing to be made more tolerable for one gender or another, be it men or women, it creates a bit of a cognitive dissonance in my mind, because I was always under the impression that we were living in a society where things are supposed to be equal for both. You know, there's everyone has opportunities. Now, again, I don't want to get too political, so I'm not even going to start talking about the whole idea of... Ooh, this is shadow. I mean, it's a... Alright, so that'll be a good backup plan. I don't really feel I need the extra damage or anything, but should I happen to lose a life and, you know, things go belly up, I've got that backup plan. No poker chip, I'm good. It occurs to me that we're supposed to be living in a society where everyone has equal opportunity, save for, you know, those who are born with greater opportunity than others. And again, not going to get into that, but it is a thing worth thinking about. But I don't think the people who are disadvantaged are necessarily just women across the board. I think that stance in and of itself is very disingenuous, and I think has some problems of its own that could be discussed. This isn't the video for it, honestly, nor is this channel the place for it. I prefer to entertain. I prefer to just play games and just let that sort of... Like I said, I'm not big on talking gender politics. I really don't like it. I'm bringing it up now because it is something that's been on my mind. No, it's not a stone chest. Random dumb. And not acknowledging one of the things that I'm talking about is like, and it's the very obvious elephant in the room argument. It'd be very disingenuous of me not to talk about it, considering that that's what's been on my mind lately. All of that having been said, it's not something that I necessarily seek out as the topic du jour. I'm perfectly fine living my life with the idea of having just equal opportunity. And the people who are co-opting that opportunity away from others has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with basically the upper 1%. And I'm getting way off topic right now. I'm getting into discussions of wealth inequality. I'm getting into discussions of, you know, what is equality, what is fairness. And I'm even starting to touch on feminism, and that's a topic that I want to stay far away from on this channel, because honestly, the whole idea is not supposed to be important to, you know, playing video games. Gaming in general, I feel, should be a positive experience for everyone. Obviously, not every game can be positive. It can be a positive experience, but that's more so on the publishers and the developers. That's... at least that's the way I feel about it. Now, when it comes to the interactions that we take, that we make with other people, that's something where we have a greater modicum of control. And I will say this: anyone that's making someone's time difficult in a multiplayer online environment, those people in and of themselves are the ones that have an issue. It's not all people of one certain type or another. There's just people out there that have issues and tend to bring those issues to spaces where they don't belong. Gaming is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a thing where we come together and just enjoy it. And some people are gonna hear that and be like, "Oh, so you support the monetization of games via live services?" Is that no? Not only is that not the case, but that's not even close to what I was saying. Do we have anything really good here? Bomber Boy creates a neat synergy. I'm just not sure if it works with Dr. Fetus. Furthermore, I'm not sure if I want to do Boss Rush. So, is it worth doing in the name of science? Does Bomber Boy work with Dr. Fetus? You know what? Even if it does, I don't want to put myself in that kind of risk. I don't have explosion immunity. Ooh, he used that orbital good! Ooh, you can bombing bugs, child. Easy. I said this is already a strong run. Just getting things like Curved Horn and the Guppy transformation just made it even easier. And yes, I'm aware that I'm not necessarily generating flies with my Dr. Fetus bombs, but the flight in and of itself is kind of the takeaway there. Oh, and let's not forget Sack Dagger. That's been a big help too. Made the bomb fight real easy. Oh. That was really stupid of me.
Ace of clubs.
Alright, next time pay attention to rocks. Oh, that was awful. Shouldn't be taking so much awful damage. Oops. Nice, but don't really need that. Funny thing is, with the Keymasters, if you have enough keys to give them so that they pay out with that, you probably didn't need it in the first place. No, more rather, when you see a Keymaster, what you want them to do is you want them to pay out with treasure chests. Preferably red or gold chests. They can be really good for turning other resources into... or turning keys into other resources. That's the whole point of the Keymasters. Oh, I hate these guys. No, because I want to... Yes, I want to sneeze. Perfect. That's exactly what I was going to say, and not anything, more so related to the game I'm playing. No, of course not. That would just be silly. I know, right, Bird? Talking about video games. It's like I'm playing a game on camera or something. What an odd idea. Yeah, I don't appreciate your random moments of invulnerability, sir. I actually don't think I want that. Now, on the other hand, there are things here that I do want. More damage, please. More damage. Make me a force to be reckoned with. The next floor is the last floor, so I don't see any value in taking Goathead, and the reason why I don't want that is because I don't necessarily want to impede on my shot speed. When it comes to using Dr. Fetus, I prefer kind of a mid-range shot speed so I know exactly where my bombs are going to be going and when to either A, set them off, or B, when to fire them so that they go off on their own and at the right time. With too much shot speed, my bombs will tend to fly well past their mark. Also, as you'll notice, I don't necessarily need a high tier stat with Dr. Fetus because I'm not launching that many shots. Okay. That was sort of odd. I only say that because I'm just kind of looking to not have any more red hearts, but having half of a red heart should still allow the Polaroid to trigger should I take damage. Not that I want to take damage, I'd actually like to come as far from taking damage as possible, thank you. Small rock. Damn. Not that a second Steam sale is going to do me any good, but you know what, I'll pick it up just because it's there. Oh, really? Alright, well, let's see if we can get anything good. Not that I feel I absolutely... Rubber cement won't do a lot of good. Spider bite will, though. What the hell. Again, it's the whole, hey, it's their notion, might as well pick it up. That was not smart. Perfect. Bomb the crap out of this, and we'll just call it a day. Beautiful. See? Pretty simple run. All in all, a fairly easy challenge, and yeah, I get the Chaos card out of it. I don't think I'll be getting the Chaos card all too often, but hey, it's something, right? Alright, thank you very much for watching. I know I came dangerously close to jumping too far into a political topic. Maybe one of these days, but I don't think today is the time. If you liked what you saw in the video, drop a subscription to see more in the future. I tend to record as often as I can, considering that I still work a normal job. Drop a like, leave a comment, it all helps the metrics of my channel, but of course the best thing you can do with this video is share it with a friend. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I'll be seeing you.